For this video, I'm going to be discussing color. For example, like when people tell you, oh, you cannot wear this color with X color because it looks horrible. Well, that's because of color theory. Color theory endeavors to explain why certain colors look pleasing to the eye and why certain colors don't look pleasing to the eye. To start with that, you kind of have to start at the very beginning. So most people know about the three primary colors. The three primary colors are red, blue, and yellow. These colors, it is said, should mix together to pretty much form any other color. You know, blue and yellow make green, red and blue make purple, red and yellow make orange, and so on and so forth. So yeah, those are the primary colors, and the primary colors help form what people call the color wheel. So I don't have it up here in Photoshop because Photoshop is kind of dumb sometimes, but I will put it on the screen, and I do have one right next to me. So right now you should be seeing a color wheel, and I will talk to you about it. So as you can see, the three primary colors are there in the color wheel, but they're not all opposite each other. They form a triangle instead. This is called this is part of the triarchic theory of color, which states that if you have a color wheel, you can make a triangle with any three of those colors, and those three colors will go together, which is super useful. However, there is another part of color theory that is also pretty commonly known, and it's called complementary colors. Complementary colors are opposite each other on the color wheel. So, for example, here I'm looking at purple and yellow. So, bright purple and bright yellow complement each other. Complementary colors are, you know, they're the basics. If you use complementary colors, you pretty much got it going on. So I can color my beautiful baby girl here, kind of this light green, and then if you look across the color wheel from green, you'll see magenta. So let's color part of her magenta. So like here, you have these bright, contrasting, complementary colors. So her shorts can be purple, her axe handle can be purple. And notice how the complementary colors aren't really touching each other? That is on purpose. When you have two complementary colors, it's good to pit them against each other constantly, which just means don't put too much of the same color right next to it. So now we have her in complementary colors. But wait, you say, this is a little bit eye straining. That's true. That is because complementary colors, they can be a bit eye straining when they're on the same saturation. So obviously hue, this part, the part that I'm moving in the little space over here, hue is not the only factor. I mean, we have this big rectangle with all these different values in it and all these different saturations. Value stands for the lightness and darkness of a thing. So when I move it toward up higher, like this, that means that I am adjusting the value. Saturation is how bright it is. So right now we're doing green with a medium saturation, but a very light value. So that's what that looks like. And we are doing a magenta with a very high value and saturation. So if I were to, they really do make a difference, all these tiny little things. So if I were to, say, put the value and saturation pretty much at the same, the painting starts to look a lot less cool and a lot more ew. Complementary colors can be like that. If you don't know what you're doing and you just mash together complementary colors, it won't look as cool. Now, obviously, this does look okay, but it's still it still causes some eye strain, and it's still not like, it's not phenomenal. It looks like someone was studying color theory and slapped together a couple of complementary colors at the same hue and saturation. It just overall lacks depth. And that's where the other part of color theory comes in, which deals with saturation and value. So for saturation and value, you want one of your colors, maybe like the color that you aren't going to use as much. You want one of your colors to be slightly desaturated. Here it makes her look kind of like a bog monster, so let's go lighter. There we go. Because her main color is purple, I'm going to let the magenta stand out a lot more, and I'm going to desaturate the green a little bit, but I'm going to make it lighter than the other thing. I'm also going to adjust it a little bit towards blue so that it looks a little easier on the eyes. So let's desaturate this one too, because that's another secret. Don't use too many oversaturated colors unless you're looking to achieve a certain effect, because if you do, then it can end up looking a little weird, basically. It just looks very artsy. And if you want to go for a more realistic effect, most colors are desaturated to some extent. So now we have this, and it looks a little bit more pleasing. So yeah, we can do that, and that's basic complementary theory. Let's try this again with triarchic theory and also apply hue and value and stuff. So let's take a look at our color wheel again. Future me, please flash the color wheel up on the screen so that our audience remembers what the color wheel is. Let's still use Mauve, because why not? So Mauve is, flash the color wheel again. Mauve is to the left of red, so let's move everything a little bit to the left. So Mauve, and then this kind of orangey yellow color, probably yellowy orange, and then cyan. So let's go with higher saturation Mauve, because we want that color to pop out, because I've themed this character around the color purple. So we're gonna make everything Mauve at first, and then we're just going to color in some other areas with some stuff that is with some stuff to round out the color palette. And then so the next color is cyan. Let's make it kind of this a little bit lighter color. And then our final color looks like it's going to be kind of yellowy orange. So, and you don't have to make everything strictly one color either. So for example, let's continue with the Mauve theme, but let's make her hair dark purple. Alright, and that provides a little bit better framing for the lightness in her eye, which is blue right now. So there we go. That's color theory. I hope you enjoyed